Janine. How are you? Come on in. Good to see you.
See you again. How are you?
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Yes, I'm excited.
Okay. So actually, Janine, if you want, we'll go overhead and sit down.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So there's your aftercare.
Okay.
And I wanted to give you a business card, of course, and a packet of fresh ointment that you can apply afterwards. I'll explain all of that.
Okay.
Okay. So have a seat.
All right.
Okay. Agent, topical pre-numb, so that you'll be comfortable during the procedure. And we're going to determine your Fitzpatrick skin type. So what is your ethnic background? Any Irish, German, Italian?
Mainly German.
Okay. And you obviously you burn when you go into the sun.
Yes,
so
I
you're
burn all the
skin
time.
type 2, which
Okay.
means you pull red pink. Microblading generally does pull a cool color, so I usually add a drop of auburn to neutralize that.
Okay.
But that will help me and you and I to determine what color we're going to choose for you.
Okay.
What we're doing is we're just finding your center, and what we're going to do is we're just going to, what I do is I try to incorporate as much of your own natural hair in as possible. So usually brows are not twins, they're sisters. So that's my favorite saying. So basically I'm going to make them symmetrical, but no one is actually symmetrical.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to draw them on and then create a nice template where we can do the strokes. I'm just going to tweeze a few of your hair underneath, just so it's a little more clean, and then I can see my line better. And then after we do a row or two, then if we need to wax, we will. But I try and incorporate as much hair in there as I possibly can, so just so that I can have a little more of a clear view while I'm working on you. So basically, we're going to just start. I'm just tracing the area. It's not pain-free. Once I do the first row and go over it the second time, we break the dermis. So then I add more numbing agent, and that will definitely help. So we're using a very light color that blends with your skin tone, and we're just doing light strokes. It's normal to see a little bit of blood because you do have to get to the dermis. If you don't get to the dermis, you're basically getting a henna tattoo. And my microblading lasts for a good 2 to 3 years. My ladies are very happy with it. So that's the whole key. So this is just the first row, and it's bleeding a little bit, but now you can have an idea of what it's going to look like. It's going to lighten about 30 to 40%, so you want it to be darker at first. We're going to add more strokes, but now you have a template. So you have a new shape of a brow.
I like it, and it's not too dark.
We're going to add more. Nope, not too dark. And then if we have to wax under here, we'll clean you up.
Perfect.
This is the second row. I go over some of the other strokes a second time, and then, of course, I add a few in there. So we can kind of make them a little bit darker and a little more brushy looking. And this time I can kind of add some in white because we have our template. The thing is, you see a lot of videos on YouTube, and they look all perfect and feathery, but they're not going to last. If you're not bleeding, you're not reaching the dermis. So basically, you're getting a henna tattoo. That's not what you want. You want them to last. We are using a very light color on you, but I think it blends with your hair very well. And cleaning the bottom up. So now we incorporated a good deal of hair in there, and then we're going to finish up the bottom. Basically, we're done with your right brow. We waxed it, kind of brushed the hair up. I trimmed a little bit. They're going to lighten about 30%, and you may need a little tweak in 30 days. You probably will not, because you want them pretty soft and light.
Yes.
Your own hair should blend in well. Each of those strokes will shrink a little bit, and you'll still have a good brow in 2 years, but maybe in about 2 years you'll have to come back and just freshen them up. We're working on the second one. I'm going the opposite direction, so it feels a little different. Notice I'm pulling the skin the opposite way. Now I'm just making sure that this one matches this one exactly. So we're just retracing over it, doing the second row. How's it feel? A little bit better?
Yes, it does.
Good.
It's not bad.
Second row always feels better. So after we wipe this one, then we'll be able to have a better idea of how they look. Look more like a real brow. So my line is just to kind of tell me where not to pass. Finishing up. Add a couple little areas there. Maybe some bottom strokes. If you have a little more hair down here, I'm trying to compensate by adding a little bit down here. Make it look a little wispier.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like right in here. So basically, we're done with the first session. 80% of clients do need a second session. You may not. I'll follow up with you in 10 days. If you do need the second session, I charge $75, which just covers my cost and my time. And that should be done 30 days after the procedure. So I give you up to 60 days to come back for that in the event that you need it.